tonight is based entirely on this book, A Piece to End All Peace by David Fromkin. I actually have it right here. And since the book is actually more thorough and more entertaining than my own talk will prove to be, if you're at all interested in how the Middle East came to be what it was, I recommend that you pick it up. So I'm actually going to try and explain the entire Middle East to you this evening. This is the Middle East as it stood in the 19th century. You can't really tell from the map, but it demarcates the spheres of influence. Oh, Jesus, these slides are going fast. So the British, French, all sorts of people were in charge. The British were allied with the Ottoman Empire. However, due to Ottoman decadence, they broke their alliance. Here's an Ottoman harem. There is the Sultan. Yes, all right. So the first funny thing that happened with World War I is that, in fact, the Ottomans entered the war on the German side. What they really wanted to do is ally with the British, or even the French, but the British were like, no, we already broke up because of your Ottoman decadence. So the funny thing was, oh, damn it, you can't see the top, but the title reads, The Sultan Ottoman won the best ship in the world. So the way the Ottomans actually became allies with the Germans was by promising them a ship they didn't actually have. Fucking Christ. Sorry, excuse my language. So the Ottomans were building the Sultan, the Ottoman one in the British Empire. The British nationalized the ship, which meant stole it. The Ottomans promised it to Kaiser Wilhelm I after they had already known the British had taken it. So this led to a lot of problems in World War I, including but not limited to the disastrous Battle of Gallipoli, pictured here. So one of the large mistakes of the war was that the British turned the Middle East into a major front, which it didn't have to be. Yes, that's a problem. A lot of people died in Gallipoli, and the only successful part of the campaign, in fact, was the retreat. Pictured here is the 1916 Sykes-Picot Agreement. So even though they hadn't actually won the war yet, the British and the French divvied up the whole Middle East. The British were really, in addition to the two actual battlefronts, the British were extremely worried about their Muslim population. As you can see, here's the Muslim world. If you're observant, you'll notice that these are 21st century borders, but never mind that. Here's the Muslim Empire. That's the British Empire. There are a lot of Muslims. So the British won a British-backed caliph. The caliph is sort of the spiritual leader of the Muslim world in 1914. Originally, he lives in Constantinople. However, the British won a British-backed caliph who will do people to do things, tell people what to do, like listen to the British. They pick Sharif Hussein of Mecca. Here's Mecca. It's one of the two holy cities of Islam. Unfortunately, Sharif Hussein was an extremely weak leader, and he had little money and fewer followers. So it was sort of a bad choice. What the British did, see, it's Lawrence of Arabia. What the British did was they gave Hussein's son Faisal tons of money, and they sent him out into the desert with Lawrence of Arabia to run around and make trouble. Unfortunately, the Arab revolt, as it was known, was extremely unsuccessful, but Lawrence of Arabia had a way of stretching the truth, so to speak. This is the city of Damascus in Syria. What the British wanted to happen was for Faisal to overtake Damascus and then install him as sort of a populist Arab leader. However, the city was actually taken over by a British general, and they weren't going to let Faisal in, but these Australian cavalry guys came in one night, and they were welcomed by the self-proclaimed governor of Damascus. Lawrence of Arabia heard this. He snuck into the city, he bullied the governor into resigning, and then installed his own governor in his place. When Faisal showed up, like 2 weeks later, they had this big welcome party for him, pictured here, and, yes, what? I had a different photo here, I think. It was supposed to be a cute bunny, because as you can see from the text, I can't think of a photo that would go with this. Anyway, so the British install Faisal. The French were pretty pissed off about this because they're supposed to have Syria. Eventually, oh Jesus, what happened to my last slides? Ignore all the text. So the French are going to install Faisal. Eventually he becomes head of Jordan instead, but the British are also supporting a Jewish homeland. So anyway, so basically what you see here, the British have put Faisal in British-backed Iraq. They put Faisal's brother Hussein in Jordan, and the French are pretty pissed off because they're kind of being pincered by these two Saudi leaders who are theoretically leading this pan-Arab revolt, when in fact they come from Saudi Arabia and they've been installed in Iraq and Jordan. And this is a really interesting fact. In fact, so Greece had a lot of territorial claims in Turkey, and they were going to do that, and then the king of Greece was bitten by a monkey and died. I didn't make that up.